Hey, it's Brad and Craig with ProLite Gear, and I'm excited to do this test, Brad. This is something I stumbled upon yesterday, and I'm going to recreate what I did yesterday so you can, I didn't take video of what I was working on yesterday, but I was treating some down with Nick Wax Downproof, and we've all seen the videos. You know, the hot topic right now in the industry is waterproof down. So there's DownTek and DriDown. There's the Encapsil technology from Patagonia, and they always show down in a glass jar or a glass cylinder, and they show the treated down floating on top, and even when they agitate it, it doesn't get wet. And then they show the untreated down just, you know, it's just so hydrophilic, it just soaks up the water, immediately loses all of its loft. And so I was wanting to test how much I'd actually improved the down, and we'll do a video on this as well, but for right now I just want to show you the results I encountered yesterday, because I found that was pretty interesting. So I did take photos of that. I may put those photos in this video, but what I have here is one of our down jackets, and I know it's painful to do this, but we're sacrificing the jacket so that we can understand all this a little bit better. So this is a jacket that I had. It's from Cloudveil. As I recall, I think it was 750 power fill. That's what the stated power fill rating was on it. So I'm just going to cut up one of the baffles.
And you haven't washed or treated this down?
No. And this jacket was lightly used because honestly I never really liked the jacket, but the down isn't contaminated with smoke or body oils. Yeah, feathers are going to go everywhere during this. These are the two cylinders from yesterday, and maybe we'll talk about those in another video as well, but I'm going to recreate it. I'm going to add one additional cylinder for testing just so we can get one more comparison here. So I'm going to try and cut open one of these baffles. May have to cut open a couple of them.
I'm going to move these so they can see what you're doing here, just actually cutting open the jacket.
That's a good idea. Alright. So, and I'll try and put about the same amount of down into each one. That's probably pretty good, don't you think, Brad?
Yeah. This looks strangely liberating, cutting open a down jacket.
Yeah, this is fun, I gotta admit. I was putting down in the microwave yesterday, playing around with using the microwave to dry it out and see how that worked.
Did it work?
To be determined, honestly. I want to do some more tests. Yeah, I think it did something.
And you're saying the feathers puffed up way before the down did in the microwave?
Yeah, I'm going to do a video on that as well, because when it comes to power fill, higher power fill isn't always better in all applications. Lower power fill can be superior. What do you think? Is that pretty good? Pretty even there? Probably good enough.
Looks good from here.
Okay. Alright, so all three of these cylinders have down from the same baffle in this jacket. Let's try and get that jacket out of the way, Brad. I'm going to duck out of frame here and grab some water.
Shane, can you grab us some tape so this doesn't get worse?
No, we'll just set it on the ground for now. Shane, can you zoom in or get that in frame a little bit? How's it looking? Good?
Yeah.
Okay, so this first one, I'm just going to pour the water in. And what do you think? Is that about enough water?
Yeah.
And we're going to leave that one uncovered, unagitated. This one, I'm going to pour, tell me when I've got basically about the same amount of water there. Oh, amount of water. I got more.
Close enough.
Oh, just a little bit more in.
What I'm instantly surprised at is I thought the second water touched down, it would just shrivel into nothing and lose all warmth completely.
So, and why is that? Why is this not immediately just sucking up all of the water?
Well, I mean, it comes off a goose. A goose float in water. They have oils that are naturally in that down.
It's the lanolin and the oils that are in the water. So, but immediately this, and I'll put, if I haven't already shown the videos, those video clips of them agitating the untreated and the treated down, I'll have those, some little clips of those in this video, just so you can see what we're trying to recreate. Yeah, this surprised me. So I don't know what they're doing in those tests, whether they cleaned the down to the point where there are zero oils or lanolin left in it, so it just gets saturated so much quicker. But let me start a timer here too, because yesterday I let this go for an hour, and so I don't know if that shows up, Shane, or not. We're starting the timer, and what I'm going to do...
One more time, Craig.
And we'll every 15 minutes we'll check in on this, and then maybe we'll do a time lapse of it just to see, because over time it does start to fail. I'm just going to take some packing material and cover these. Ooh, maybe that won't work. All right, so we've sealed that one. We'll seal this one. So yeah, right off the bat, I'm surprised that this down is already holding up. All right, so once again, freestanding, uncovered. So we're at what, roughly 40% relative humidity in here right now. This one's covered, but we're not going to agitate it. The idea being that the humidity level in here should raise to the point of saturation, I would think, right?
I mean, it's warm in here. We have the heater on.
Yeah. And then this one, we're going to agitate. What I'm going to do for agitation, just to keep it kind of consistent, is just, that's pretty good agitation. But look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Shane, how's that showing up? I brought up my little Petzl headlamp here just to kind of help illuminate it. You can see that down didn't wet out even when agitated.
There's no way you can see this on the camera right now, but you can actually see water like dripping down the inside of the glass, hitting the down plumes, running over them and going back into the water without really affecting the down plume on the inside at all. It's counterintuitive to everything we've been told about down.
Well, and it certainly doesn't follow the video clips that they're using in their marketing, where they're showing untreated down as the second it comes in contact with water, just completely wets out. That's not reality. Now, I will also say, Brad, that I don't think this is a very realistic test anyway. I've seen other websites where they're jumping in lakes with water proof treated down on, and that's not a realistic test. I don't think down coming in contact with standing water is a realistic test. I want to see the effects of very high humidity over time on down, and so we'll test that as well. But this is just kind of maybe disproving, or I don't know, questioning the marketing clips that DriTech are showing us, and I'm sorry, DownTek and DriDown, and Encapsil was showing a similar video clip as well. So we're going to check back every 15 minutes.
Do you want to re-agitate every 15?
We're going to re-agitate every 15 minutes. I think the plan I'm going to do, Brad, is I'm going to re-agitate every 15 minutes for an hour. So one agitation to start with, 4 more to get us to an hour, and then I'm just going to let it sit for 5 hours, and then we'll come back and test it after, and maybe we'll do the time-lapse camera for 5 hours and just see if it saturates over time.
Very cool.
We'll check in with you in 15 minutes, or actually about 12 minutes now. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we are coming up on 14 minutes. We'll re-agitate this one at 15 minutes. Just once again, this is unagitated, uncovered. This cylinder is unagitated but covered, and this is the one that is covered and we're agitating. So, Brad, what are your observations so far? Any conclusions?
Well, at 15 minutes, I would have thought all of these would have soaked into the water and just been a worthless pile of down that does nothing. But right now, I'm looking at all the water in all of these glasses. There's no down in the water at all. It's all still staying up on top of that water, just beautifully.
Yeah. Well, so that was what shocked me yesterday when I did this. I was expecting a completely different result.
And the agitated one just surprised me a lot, because I've seen the same videos where they shake it up in a mason jar and the down just wilts to nothing instantly.
But you know what? When I've seen that, actually I'm coming up on 15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and agitate this. And just to stay consistent, I'm going to, once down, once up, once down, once up. And let's use a thermometer here. We've got our digital infrared thermometer just to, let's see, should I do it this way? Just to make sure. 68.6, 68.6. Oh wow, 64.3. I guess
it might be probably the water touching the cellophane and cooling it off.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I just agitated it. Okay, so there is a slight difference in temperature there. I will say, in the videos that I've seen and at the trade show when we were seeing these demonstrations, the down was already saturated in the mason jars.
That's true, and it makes you wonder how long that down's been sitting in there to fully wet out.
Yeah. So anyway, we're through our first 15-minute window here. We'll check in another 15 minutes. We're going to do this for the first hour, and then we're just going to let them sit for the next 4 hours, and we'll put it on a time-lapse camera so you can just see. I'm not seeing any difference in loft or anything. Maybe I can see a little bit on this one where it is. Some of the feathers are starting to wet out.
But we're talking about 2 agitations and sitting for 15 minutes in water.
Yeah, certainly not a complete failure or
Definitely
completely
not.
saturated.
Like, that would still keep you warm.
Yeah. All right, we'll check in with you in another 15 minutes. Okay, we're coming up on our next 15-minute window. While we were waiting for those 15 minutes, I went back and rewatched the Encapsil video, the DownTek video, and the DriDown video. And the DownTek video shows them actually putting the down in the glass container, adding the water, and they agitated it for 2 minutes straight. So I'm going to do that while we're waiting for this next one.
Okay.
The DriDown and Encapsil don't show them putting the down in the container, adding the liquid, or how they were agitating it initially, or how long it had been. So just to be fair to everybody, let's just go ahead and recreate that.
Where are we at for time to re-agitate this one here?
Let's see here, we are at 29 minutes, so I'll get this one started. Let's see, is that roughly about the same amount of water? Yeah. Do you want to agitate that one for 2 minutes? So start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, start agitating it, and No, they were agitating it fairly aggressively. Don't do it that way, dude. There. Just don't be a dork about it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do this one.
Got some leakage.
I don't know that's... Once again, we're talking about how realistic are these demonstration purposes.
I'm never going swimming in a down jacket.
Yeah, because I can see that is wetting out. But let's talk about how this would be coming in contact in water while we're waiting for 2 minutes to elapse on that. It's going to be a standing pool of water in your tent, maybe, that your sleeping bag is sitting in. Your sleeping bag probably has a DWR coating on the down.
At the minimum.
Yeah, so it's not going to be wicking that water up through. Like I said, that test, sure, you just completely saturated it by vigorously shaking it for 2 minutes. I don't know, what's your thought on that? Realistic or not realistic?
Realistic in a washing machine, not realistic in rain at all.
Yeah, so I don't know if you need to continue doing that. So, okay, that demonstrates maybe what they're doing. But I think this demonstrates, let's set it over. Shane, is this in frame if we put that there?
Yep.
So, that's the way at the trade shows I see the down is already in that state. And the treated down is looking like this, and they agitate it.
Yep.
Gradually, actually, they just kind of move it back and forth and show us. Well, let's check in another 15 minutes. My observation so far, this one has some loss of loft. These two, I'm not seeing any meaningful loss of loft yet.
No, not much. And there's no down in the water. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is all basically below the surface.
You can see what the down looks like when it fails compared to when the down is still performing.
But we're at a half hour sitting in water.
Yeah.
I think it tells a different story than this. This is much more realistic.
That's my impression on it.
Yeah.
We'll let the audience draw their own conclusions, but we'll let's continue the test anyway. Let's go 45 minutes, shake it again, or agitate this one again, check in on how the down is looking, and then we'll check in again at an hour, and then we'll start the time lapse.
Cool.
All right, see you in 15.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are coming up on the 45-minute mark on our little test of whether the sales presentation or the video demonstration on waterproof down is actually valid and what our results are. Just to reiterate this again, this is untreated down, standing, uncovered. This is unagitated, sorry. Untreated down, unagitated, covered, untreated down, agitated twice, kind of
Perfect.
a rolling agitation every 15 minutes. And then this is the one where we actually vigorously or violently agitated it for 2 minutes straight. And you know, I'm not doing this video to discredit any of the waterproof down techniques or down technologies, or even necessarily their need. I think we'll do a whole video on how important is waterproof down.
Yeah.
Certainly lots of people have got lots of years of experience with down where they've never had a failure point. I think everyone here in the store has had at least one failure point with waterproof, or with down out in the field, primarily due to humidity. You know, Shane, maybe in the next video when we talk about this, we'll talk about your trip to Alaska. Okay, so 45 minutes, just agitated that one again. You know, I am starting to see...
Oh yeah, it's changing.
This one starting to wet out. I'm starting to see some stuff floating around in the water. Shane, maybe if I pick that up, you can see it a little bit. Does that... I don't know if you
down
can see
a little
that
bit
or not. But yeah, we're definitely seeing this one losing some loft now. Not as dramatic as I would have expected, having you know, several agitations. Some of the down is just sticking to some different elements in there, so you know, it's not all sitting at the bottom like these are.
It's also been in water for 45 minutes.
Yeah, directly in contact with water for 45 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, if there's any loss of loft in these two, it's minimal loft. So we'll check in one more time in another 15 minutes, and then we'll let it sit for... You still want to go for 5 hours? Do you think that will change anything? Okay, we'll do some time lapse for 5 hours, then we'll do a little wrap up. And I can tell you already, I'm interested in doing a lot more videos. And testing down out in various situations. So, all right, see you in 15. Thanks. Okay, this test has been running for an hour now. We're going to give this cylinder one final agitation. My observations, of course, you know, just to go over this once again, this is the one that you vigorously shook for 2 minutes straight. This is unagitated, the down just standing on the water. Unagitated, the down standing on the water, but covered just to get a higher humidity rate in there. And this one is agitated every 15 minutes with 2 gentle shakes and covered. We used our thermometer just to make sure that the temperatures are all roughly the same, and they are all roughly right around 68 degrees. This one's up to 66 degrees now, so this one has always been running a little bit cooler for some reason. Don't know why that is, but within a degree or two of each other. Alright, so let's do one more of these, and then we're going to just let these things sit for another 4 hours, so that we've got a total of 5 hours in the presence of water, with direct contact to water. My observation on these two,
not a lot of change.
Well, I'm not seeing much change at all. This one, yeah, we are definitely seeing some degradation in loft. So, yeah, certainly the agitation does make a difference. And, of course, the more vigorously you agitate it, the quicker it's going to wet out, and more completely it's going to wet out. So, all right, well, let's set up the camera for some time lapse, and we'll let it run for another 4 hours. We're going to take a photo every 15 minutes. Is that what you said?
I will do it every 8.5 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll be a minute and a half long then if we do it for 4 hours.
That might be a boring video. Nothing will change, will it? Maybe a little bit.
Who knows?
All right, stay tuned. All right, it has been 4 hours. We just finished watching up some of the time-lapse photography, and I've got 2 really strong conclusions from this. I actually made some notes here. My first conclusion is that untreated down held up really well in the presence of moisture and water, especially in direct contact with water.
I mean,
it held up far better than I think anyone here anticipated.
Look at the time-lapse photography. You will not see this change at all. I mean, it's really going to be neat to see.
And then, so my second conclusion is that the marketing videos that we're seeing on the internet, where you're showing, the waterproof down treated, or the waterproof treated down in a jar, and then they have another jar with the untreated down, and they're vigorously shaking them up and saying, hey, look how this wets out versus our stuff doesn't wet out. I'm going to go ahead and call that kind of, what would you say, just meaningless marketing videos. They're not based on probably any practicality at all. You're probably going to see more videos like that. I saw another one from Toray with their Quixdown product. So, Encapsil, I saw it in their stuff in Patagonia. I saw it in the DriDown and the DownTek videos. And I'll probably put little snippets of those videos in this video so you can see all of them. So, I think that's a meaningless test. Just like I think, wearing one of these jackets in a shower isn't maybe necessarily a real, because you're going to have DWR in your fabric. There's one video, I think, where a guy wore one of the Sierra Designs jackets and jumped in a lake. And I think after seeing this, I may go jump in a lake with one of my untreated down jackets, because I think it would behave beautifully. I think I could jump in the lake, completely immerse myself, come out, maybe take the jacket off, shake it off, and I will be fine, even though it's untreated down. So, I don't know. If you want to go jump in a lake?
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I'm in.
So I think what's needed in order to accurately and realistically test the effectiveness of waterproof down is to use a gaseous state water test like moisture regain. And I looked this up. I took some notes here. And moisture regain is a textile term, and it's the amount of water a completely dry fiber will absorb from the air at a standard condition of 70 degrees Fahrenheit and a relative humidity of 65%, expressed as a percent of the dry fiber weight. So, we don't have your little thermometer here, your laser thermometer, but we were saying these were roughly 68 degrees, right?
Which is really close.
Really close to 70. This, you can see the humidity in this because it fogged up the container there. So this is a great example. We could test this by pre-weighing that, leaving it in there. They didn't specify a time in the moisture regain test. Taking it out and reweighing it and see what percentage of the overall down weight increased due to the moisture in it. And that's probably a more meaningful test. I also think we've got to get out in the field and test some of this to see if this stuff is the next big thing in outdoor products like some are saying it is, or whether it's mostly marketing and probably not quite as big of a deal for the majority of us as they would like us to believe. So lots more testing probably to do, but we hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, well, first of all, I should say, what are your thoughts on this, Brad?
Conclusion, I was told when I bought my first sleeping bag way back when to buy a synthetic because the second down is in any presence of moisture, it wilts and is no longer warm. For 4 hours plus of being directly in contact, touching water, it's not wicking it up, it's not sucking it up like everyone says down does. My conclusions are, I think plain down equipped with the oils it naturally comes with,
right,
does a pretty good job on it.
It does a much better job than I was anticipating.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been a fun test. So yeah, we'll do some more tests. I'm already over there working on some other contraptions for testing this out. But if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. Our phone number is on our website, 406-582-0508, or contact us via email at service@prolightgear.com. Thanks for watching.